Welcome back, everybody, and thank you to my nerds for reminding me the name of that awesome movie, Battle Royale. Go watch it, everybody. It's a good movie.
That's basically what the Code S is.
That's right.
One nerd survives.
We put a whole class together, the S class of pro gamers.
Yes.
And the winning nerd gets off the island with a big bunch of money.
That's right. And then we use our necromancy to bring them back.
That's right. Everyone
do it
here
all
is
over
a zombie
again.
except for Nesty.
So, one player is going to move on. Sniper against Hart. I feel like the way Hart plays, it's probably, he's almost geared towards PvP. There's a lot of cool stuff Terran can do with Protoss.
Yes.
Now, I feel like on a meta level, he can mix it up. But on a cheese level, maybe not so much.
I got to say, Sniper is going to be his hardest opponent in this group. Because, TVP you can mix up a lot. TVT, there's definitely many cheesy early builds.
There's a lot of stuff you can do TVT.
Yeah, but TVZ, it's a little bit harder, man. You know, if they get Zergling speed and a few queens, suddenly your options are getting a little bit thin. Like, you're going to win by a very tight margin if you win. So, it can be difficult. We'll see what he can do, though. First map going to be Cloud Kingdom.
All right, guys. Well, Squirtle survived, and Naniwaz died. Who's going to move on now? Let's find out here in the GSL Code S.
GSL. Welcome to GSL Cloud Kingdom.
All right, let's do this. In the upper right of our minimap, we have our Zerg player. He completely manhandled Naniwa. Now he has to go up against a Terran who is very unpredictable, very volatile. He is
MVP Sniper.
New to Code S as well. And in the bottom left, some Sniper fans in here. All right, so in the bottom left, we got our Terran player. You just don't know what he's going to throw at you till the last second. Let's see what he throws at his opponent this time. Also new, by the way, to GSL Code S. He is
Complexity Hard.
all right.
Well,
Macarex.
yeah, just a slight forward position. It's probably just going to be one Rax, too. He might use this for multiple things. One, scare Zerg.
He is hard after all.
Notice the path the drone went on, by the way, looking for possible proxy Raxes. Oh, is there going to be a second Rax? A second, but much later Rax.
Okay.
So this is not like an 11-11 or something. It's something you can go on with, but it's also something you can absolutely transition right out of if you want. You can easily go and do an expand after this, after some pressure.
The Sniper's so efficient, he didn't go to the edge, so he didn't spot that.
Yeah, he's just looking to see if they were in the main. So I think he's actually going to go scout it right now, though. His drone path should absolutely go down towards the third.
Yeah, there's no excuse.
There's like very little other room on this map.
All right, so he sees that. He sees the second one.
Okay, so
that's right. I'm playing against Hart.
Yeah. So, everyone is preparing for Hart pretty well, looking for these cheesy things. But again, this one doesn't, this is not even necessarily cheesy. If he just makes Marines and, pushes and prods with just Marine Rally plus an SCV.
Make a command center after that.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, he'll actually have a great economy, better than the Zerg economy, most likely. Because Zerg's going to have to fight with some drones, make extra lings when they don't want to, maybe delay a queen, that's always a possibility. Fight with the queen a little bit, might miss an injection. It's all sorts of little things. So see, instantly, 6 lings. That's 3 less drones.
Thank you, Count Tosis.
That's right.
All right, he's coming up here now.
Yeah, making a spine already. He's taking this very seriously.
Oh!
Almost got it.
Almost boxed him in there.
Very close.
So I don't think he's going to... Yeah, he's already turning around. And this is smart by Hart. He played a bunch of very aggressive all-in games, and then he just turns right around.
And
now, some Zergs have actually gotten really good at the follow-up to this, because what a lot of Terrans will do is they'll make a third command center. We'll see if he does that.
Yes, that's true.
But a lot of Terrans do that.
Everyone does that.
Yeah, and then the Zergs just punish them because they're getting too greedy. So the Zergs basically overdo it. Now he's going to come out here.
And it's just so you know, 20 SCVs to 16 drones. I mean, that's pretty solid for Hart. And he does start that extra command center, as you mentioned, Tasis. This is really, I mean, if you see someone 2-ax you and then fall back, they're making 2 command centers. That's just the way it goes.
That's actually, like, if you guys just watch and notice, and every time that we have games where they do this, it's always 3 command centers.
Yeah, I can't even think of the last time.
I don't know what else the follow-up would even be.
Well, it would have to be something really cheesy, because you can simply, you have so many Marines out already that you're like, well, I just go triple command here. This is pretty simple. You've got to catch up as far as
one of the problems is he has to keep making Marines too, because if he lifts off, or if he makes add-ons there, the add-ons will be killed very easily. In fact, it's probably better to do this build if you're at the upper right. As weird as that sounds.
Oh, absolutely. That's so true. But, you know, this, you know, you can either make additional command or barracks in your main, or you can just make them anyway, those things, and rally to outside your wall. Or you could even go mech. You know, we do see a lot of times people go into mech from something like this, just because, well, you already have a huge wall up. It looks kind of like you're going Marines. You can go mech. And in fact, he's going to go 2 fact at least. That doesn't mean mech right now. It could just be like 2 factory Hellion. But he could go into mech from that. We'll see.
Okay, so the layer is just now started. By the way, speaking of mech, I'm loving what Marine King's doing with his mech play.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, we don't have a third base here for the Zerg yet. I don't think we're gonna have one for a little bit. If you're sniper, what do you do, Artosis?
Macro mode, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We see that he's actually teching up really quickly, but you know, as long as you have speedlings out and you keep an eye on the Marine count, they're not going to be able to do too much damage too quickly.
We've got a Baneling's Nest coming down here.
Now I wonder what he's going to use that for. Is he going to get like really quick Baneling speed? It looks like he's just going to go into Muta, but
I feel like if he was going to get quick Baneling speed, he'd also be pushing his creep a lot more. His creep's been a little bit lackluster.
Yeah. We could be seeing Muta popping up. You know, he just got his 4th gas, so that normally points towards Muta.
Yeah, we're kind of waiting to see, because that layer's done, so.
And the Spire does pop up.
Okay.
So there you go. Just a very defensive Baneling Nest. And
do you feel like Spire's actually good in this case? I feel like you're letting them power so hard.
Mm-hmm. I know what you mean. Yeah, I always like Spire, to be honest. If you use your mutas right, they're very useful. You don't have to get a ton, but they're going to stop drops completely. A lot of Terrans won't even start too many drops if you already have mutas out on the map. It'll work out pretty well for him. And of course, if Hart was going for, you got to consider how Hart plays as well. Like, let's say he was going into like 2-port Banshee, which I would not put above Hart. You know, the mutas are obviously going to be super powerful then.
All right, so he's opening up his base now. Notice he's kind of stockpiled these Hellions. He hasn't shown them off yet. And this is classic Hart. Hart wins with his micro and with the element of surprise.
And these Hellions...
Oh, that was close. They almost got those Banelings.
Wow,
yeah. If he poured a little bit more, that would have just been bad fortune for Sniper.
Now, the Blue Flame Hellions are going to do so well against the Zerglings that he's going to have to like hold them still and hit with Banes. We'll see if that works out for him. Now, the Banelings are coming up.
Oh. Nice. Actually, super nice.
That was really good.
Wow.
In the meantime, he's got to wait for the Baneling speed. He's got to just stall a little bit. Baneling speed is almost done. He doesn't want him to actually kite these Banelings. All right.
He's got to be very careful. That Spine Crawler was low, but it got transfused onto it. So it's in better shape now. The mutas are now grouping up.
No upgrades for the Marines yet because of that beautiful little Baneling explosion. Hart's still trying to get some damage done here, but Sniper's holding tough, and he's making mutas. So eventually he's going to run out there and start killing off Hellions and stuff because his mutas against these Marines with no upgrades are going to do fine.
All right, the Hellions are moving back now. And, yeah, so far both players playing very well. No SCVs transferred yet to the third. We do have Stim and Combat Shields. They had to start up again. which is very annoying. And then, by the way, that gives Zerg a lot more power on the map.
Yeah.
For the time being.
Well, the mutas are starting to
starting to go for that Tech Lab again.
Hitting up some Hellions as well. Any damage you can add to anything right now is pretty worthwhile.
He needs to, he really should try to do something else with those Hellions coming up here, because there's they haven't really paid for themselves yet.
Yeah, you know, I think he's going to probably, well, no, I guess he's
going for one of these like weird half-mixed armies. You know? It's like Hellions, submarines, tanks.
It looks like
not really medevacs like, for the time being.
Yeah, he's switching back into tanks.
Yeah.
But the Hellions are going to be pretty decent to just have in his ball anyways, because they're going to help to evaporate Zerglings pretty quickly.
Yeah, well said.
And, I mean, so that's going to be pretty useful overall, but it's not like particularly scary. You know, it's not like Sniper's going to be thinking, what do I possibly do against this? But, you know, the thing that is scary is with that third command center up so quick and the fact that he has this extra base, Sniper's behind economically. You know, he's only on 3 base as well.
So, he's keeping Terran at home. Meanwhile, he's powering up hardcore here, getting 1-1 and +1 for the mech units, which is so important for those siege tanks in siege mode. Really important.
Yeah, you want to get up to +2 ASAP. So powerful.
Now note the supplies here. Hart is taking a lead here. It's about 165 to 135. So I think actually Hart can push out and take out the 4th. I feel like he should have gone for Baneling Burrow.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be
There's
cool.
I mean, definitely no Ravens out here, but also for the amount of, the kind of expense that this army is, it's like Hellions, tanks, and Marines, that's a lot of minerals. He's not going to have any scans.
So, good point. And here we go. The Baneling speed coming into play. The Zerglings surround the Blue Flame Hellions. Can he hit the Marines? Oh, no!
Whoa! I can't believe he retreated with those Banelings. They're way too far in there.
Man.
They were way too far in. You just have to actually let them connect.
The Banelings mostly just got killed and blew up on tanks and stuff like that. The Marines basically completely saved. Hart at a huge supply lead still. And Sniper just doesn't have much left here.
Note how he's splitting up his Marines here. Yeah. And again, Sniper going in and going out, basically letting him get 3 hits.
More tanks and Marines coming up from the rally.
Now, if he gets this 3rd base, he may actually, if 3 kills, turn around and take a 4th, but we'll see. Hart does play a little bit differently than some of these other guys. Now the Banelings are done, and I think he's just going to lose this base, Artosis. Actually, no, he's going to try to sandwich. Let's see if it works.
Well, here we go. Some Banelings from both sides. The Siege Tank's trying to target. Still a lot of Banelings left over. And Sniper doing a pretty good job.
Damn.
Yeah, that was
He
not
cleaned
bad.
that up.
That was not bad at all. He's gotten all the Siege Tanks, most of the medevacs, almost every Marine, literally 8 Marines and a medevac made out, and the supply was vastly in Hart's favor, and now it's a lot closer.
Sometimes I feel like in those moments, when the Zerg's backed off, you have to target fire the hatch.
I see
because you need to force them into attacking you. They're clearly, either they're giving up, which you're going to get it anyways, or, you know, you should just target it down.
Well, Sniper is getting his infestation pit now. A little bit late, but he needed to go for it a little bit later this game to be able to hold. Can he hold his 4th base, though? Here we go. Baneling's getting hit by that Siege Tank immediately. Hart hasn't really removed many creep tumors yet, so he sees exactly what he's dealing with until just this moment when that scan went down.
Stimming and spreading out now. Banelings again connecting on the Siege Tanks. We got a Thor coming in here again. Another Baneling hitting the Siege Tanks. And he's going to drive the mutas back. Also, I don't feel like Hart should be pushing at this location. Why not get the other hatch?
He wants to kill a hatchery. That's what he really wants. You know, maybe this is just a little bit closer, so he's going for it. Just as long as he can get one of them, though, he's going to be in pretty good shape. Sniper going for his hive now, starting to upgrade his infestors, and making a lot of lings still. But can he actually break through here? I mean, he's lost his 4th base. A 4th base is going down for Hart, and it looks like he's going to go for a counterattack on it. But, oh my god, the Planetary's going to finish.
Oh, just in the nick of time. And the SCV's going to be transferred there. Now, the Lings are actually surrounded in such a way the SCVs can't quite repair. He may want to detonate on those. Yeah, so he gets hit. Now, it's 3 base on 3 base, but I do question, if you look at the supplies here, if he's going to be able to hold this. Now, he's going actually towards the Hart. No pun intended here. Hart is going towards the Hart. of the Zerg's base. And the Zerg, I think, is going to try to come in here and sandwich him. I think he's comfortable in between those rocks is what it is.
Yeah. And, well, we're going to have a ton of Banelings and Zerglings rolling in for Sniper. His Mutalisk count is almost gone, down at 5. Doesn't really matter. There's a Thor anyways, and here we go. He's going for it. A huge flank coming in. Banelings actually connecting super well, and it looks like he will clean it up again.
This is so cool to see Sniper like hold off these almost maxed out Terran armies when he's at 135 supply. And the only units he's losing are Banelings blow up anyways.
Well, Hart just continuing to send push after push, playing kind of an SC style.
He wrecked that.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's going to keep pushing now. He may actually just take a 4th.
Yeah, he could definitely back up and take a 4th. He's making 2 command centers, so he may as well. And from here, he's going Ultralisk tech. Well, looks like he's trying to kill the army again. Can he do it once again?
Nope, not this time.
Nope. And this is what happens with this style. You know, the teammate of Sniper actually became kind of famous for this style, MVPSC, where you just push after push after push, and each time you're being a bit more cost efficient. You're keeping them down on their number of bases.
Yeah.
The Banelings can't be kept. It's being made forever.
It's basically really efficient trading.
Exactly.
You come out on top the first time, or maybe you break even, but then the second time you come out more on top. Then the third time, and it starts to snowball.
Exactly.
Because, you're trading units, and the Zerg is losing the hatchery, but the Zerg needs to have more bases in order to operate.
Exactly. So that's like what we're seeing here, and Sniper's way down in supply, so this is getting pretty brutal. Now we do have another attack coming down. The tanks targeting down Banelings as best they can. The Zerglings doing an okay job trying to surround it.
GG.
Not enough. He realizes, no way, no how is he winning that with long distance mining.
Hart's doing it, man.
He is. He might go
Remember
to round 16.
Yeah, we said, well, he's probably the underdog in this group.
Yeah.
He's playing.
Well, he can play.
Amazingly.
As far as TVZ goes, we've seen him play all the styles of TVZ. It's rare that you see him do a full macro game in like TVP or something like that. But as far as TVZ goes, he'll mix that in, and he did a great job there. 2 barracks, kind of like a fake pressure once it got scouted. But then he went into triple command center, got his upgrades, got that 3rd base really quickly, defended everything. And the quick teching of his opponent, it was like a fearful teching. He's like, well, I better go up to lair. I'm playing hard. Like, maybe there's some crazy 2-port Banshee or something coming.
Yeah, something like that.
And it just, the mutas turned out to not be too effective. That's what happened.
The mutas didn't even really, mutas are like those active units where you can just keep attacking and hitting different places. He didn't really kill anything with him.
Not really,
and actually,
not really.
It doesn't have to be the case, but generally if you have mutas out, you're supposed to have killed a lot of stuff. Get depots, or even force him to make a ton of turrets. Due to the way that he got them, Hart was already being aggressive, and then a Thor was out. It's like, well, these are just giant paperweights now. We don't actually need these things, so too bad.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to go into game number 2.
We are.
Daybreak is going to be the map. A little bit better map here for Sniper. It's a little bit further apart, which is what he's going to want. And we'll have to see what his plan is, because Sniper, I think it's going to be either, the reasonably quick 3rd base, or he could tech up again on 2 bases. That's something people do sometimes to be super, super safe. But could he mix in his own all-in? That's always a possibility, going like a roach attack.
Like with Nesty, in a big series, I think there's going to be one game where, or like Leenock, I think there's going to be one game where he actually does some kind of all-in. I think in this case, we probably will see one of this best of 3. Statistically, all-ins usually occur in the 2nd game.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm not basing that off any stats, but that's just like whenever I cast them, that's actually going to come up. And in my own experience in tournaments, it's always the 2nd game. One guy's either ahead and he says I could take a risk, or one guy's behind and he probably lost so badly that he's like, Now, if you're somebody smart like MVP, sometimes you all in the very first game that's set
and the second and third.
And then the very last game where it mattered the most.
Yeah.
Or you'll do it.
Sets a good tempo.
You'll do it 3 best of 5s or best of 3s in a row. And then you'll play standard in the finals. You can do that too if you're MVP, but
sure.
We'll see.
You can do anything you want if you're MVP.
I love how I cited. I'm like, statistically, this is what happens. And then I'm like, I don't have the stats, but actually somebody should look that up.
Yeah.
I would like to see in a best of 3 And we have to get actually a proper definition if somebody were to do that of what an all-in is versus a time-in.
That's true.
Because a lot of people actually a lot of other casters will actually use some terms wrong where I'm like, this isn't a time-in.
Yeah.
This is like him putting pressure on.
That's something that we see a lot from everyone really in StarCraft. That was pretty funny because I'm like, oh wow, I never heard that stat. I'm surprised I didn't.
It was one of those things where as it came out of my mouth, I'm like, well, I said that.
Yeah. My name is tasteless. My claims are baseless.
That's a good song.
Yeah, I'll make more lines for it as you mess up more.
That's too good. All right, the map is Daybreak. We got Sniper against Hard. Sniper and Hard both new to Code S. One will go out and one will move on. We're going to find out soon.